Well, here we are then, Supercars Melbourne, round 2. Velocity Racing League Supercars Championship. We've got 1 minute 30 to go in qualifying. It's Delaney, Munro, Raffello, Hill, and then Meredith and Smith, Greg, Combat, Goonan, Green, Monty, Rath, and Spivey. Last of all, Nick Mello is my co-commentator for today.
G'day everyone.
How you doing?
Not too bad. How's it been for you?
Yeah, alright, I've just brought up my task manager on screen, so that's a good start. Right, we have got, what did I say, 1 minute to go in qualifying. It is fairly close to the top, 5/10 of a second separating 1 and 2. Well, actually, that's not that close, but 1 second covering the top 3. There's a bit of a gap, and then it's going to be really tight in that midfield, because 2/10, then another 2/10, then 4/100ths of a second, but that's 4th place to 7th place. As we're watching Delaney now coming through the bottom of the course, he is down towards turn number 12, or 13 rather. No, a bit further. No, it is 13. I need to remember the corner numbers here. We did this just a few weeks ago, F1 Melbourne, of course. Now in the V8 Supercars, and we've just wrapped up the qualifying session now, so we'll keep an eye on who comes across the line from here.
That's Delaney finishing his lap. Everyone else should have... most cars should be able to finish their laps, but we'll just have to see if they improve or not.
So we've got Spivey coming round next. He is, as a lot of people start returning to the pit lane now the session's over, he's going to come through the last corner now, waiting for him. No, he's just dived into the pit lane. So there's Nick Gregg across the line, and he stays 7th fastest. Riley Smith is our next car. He's still going round. As Josh Monty disconnects. It's interesting. So last corner now.
Around the final corner.
Doesn't go faster. Stays 6th fastest.
And that concludes our qualifying session.
So we have our grid now. James Delaney on debut is on pole position, 152.049, 7/10 back to Chris Munro, 2nd place. Chris Raffello, also on debut, 3rd, 153.209. We've got about 5 minutes to go until our race. Shorter one today, only, well, how long? 100 kilometres, so that's 19 laps.
Should be about a 40-minute race.
Yes.
Give or take some.
I guess that kind of compensates for the really long one we had 2 weeks ago at Adelaide, 250k race, which was double points. This one's only single points, 25 points for the win, which means Chris Munro is going to be hard to beat in the championship coming out of this race. As for the other main rule in this race is the change of tyre compound that has to happen at some point during the race. Every driver must switch from soft tyre to super soft, or super soft to soft, and that is the only time this will be happening in the season. It's consistent with real life, what was going to happen before certain events.
Definitely, we've got a lot of people waiting to get back on the real track, but there's been a definite increase in the amount of people taking simulator racing more seriously.
Oh, absolutely, and it's, I guess, somewhat reflected here too. How many have we got this evening? 16 this evening. There you go. No, 15. 15 this evening. There we go.
Yeah, definitely in like a very, very steep increase in numbers just in the recent past.
Left in this countdown. The grid, and then we'll have another 3 minutes on the grid, and then we should be ready to get underway. Our cars are on the grid now, and we have got just 3 minutes to go. So I'm going to run you through the provisional standings after round 1, which is basically the race order from Adelaide as well. Chris Munro sits on top of the championship table, and then Jack Meredith in 2nd position, Nathan Ankovic 3rd, Nicholas Gregg 4th position, then Riley Smith 5th, Green 6th, Goonan 7th, Hill in 8th, Thornton in 9th, Spivey 10th, and then Abel in 11th, and then Hughes, French, Aaron, Ricky, and Tricklebank are the people who haven't picked up any points from the previous position because of a DNF or having not been classified in another way. Team Cowboy leads the team's championship. That's the Smith-Meredith combination. Then Team VB. Then the Troy and Abedna race car, and then the Big Nick's Game of Fuel, and Red Car Brad Boy Motorsport. There are some fantastic team names in all of that, and it's really hard to stay professional when you're looking at Mum's Tendies Motorsport.
Indeed.
So a minute and a half to go in this till this 100 kilometre race, 19 laps of the Albert Park Grand Prix circuit. I have got a special little feature this evening which allows me to tune into the driver chat while in the middle of the race, so we're going to go to that now.
Oh yeah, so do.
Yeah, shiver up, shiver up. You got this.
Hit me into the abyss. I just can't believe that. I was like, oh my god, I got a great start. Is that Nicholas?
I have no idea they're being listened to, by the way.
I'm the only guy that fell out the map. Of course it was me.
You always managed to fall out of the map in this game.
I
Like,
know, last V8 race, it was the only goddamn wall there was that wasn't actually a wall, and I fell through it. And
It's
then
just, you just
like,
run into every wall, and it's just.
I feel like reckons I'll do
just
16
test.
lap.
I'm just testing.
Are you getting blinded by the safety car
16.
lights back there? 'Cause they're
No,
blinding me
because
for
the
years.
safety
They
car's
look really
behind
bright.
me.
They're really bright.
And they're not even using a safety car. Like,
They just need a car to join. They just need a
okay,
car
I'm
to join
dead.
the game.
I'm
Off mid-sentence there. And so just 10 seconds left until the start of this one. The light's going to be coming on in just a minute. We'll drag in some other drivers later in the race as well to chat with them. So the lights are on. And we're away. Seems like a pretty even start from the two Nissans out in front. Delaney's got the
Almost
slight...
looks like they're going to be 3 abreast coming into the first corner.
Yeah, Delaney's got the slight advantage, and now Munro's hassled it back on towards turn number 3.
Raffaello's going to have a look down at turn 3 for this.
Big dive up the inside. Is he going to get there? Oh, barely. Yes, he gets in front.
That's Raffaello up to 2nd. Not a great start from our pole man, but I'm sure he'll have plenty of pace to show to the back of these guys.
Absolutely. So he's dropped from 3rd from pole position, but he's still one of the fastest in this group as we're watching the back of the field. It's kind of all on top of one another. They come down towards turn number 9. It is Munro from Rafalo with Delaney right in his hammer being appropriate in the Bunnings trade car. Hill is 4th position in the Corgas car for the first time they're running that livery. As there's a bit of a battle going down into the fast right-left chicane. Meredith got past Greg, I think, and then Greg's taken the position back. So Greg, Meredith, Green, Goonan, Combat, all in a row as they work their way through turn number 13. So that's the end of lap, or almost the end of lap 1.
Starting to see increased gaps at the front, but the midfield is still very close together. Although we've still got Delaney all over the back of Rafal.
I think he went a little bit deep into turn 1. He's lost quite a bit of time from that mistake.
Oh, that's the commentator's curse. That's my fault. Right as I move the camera away from him as well.
Here is going to be in the midfield while the front kind of spread apart a little bit. Maybe they'll come back later. Although, as I say that, Rafalo's actually gaining a bit on Munro, and then he's just dropped it again. Hanging around 7-8 tenths there at the front. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 cars all in that train, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 side by side between Rath and it was Monty and Goonan. There we go. So Monty's picked up another position. He's gotten a good start from towards the back of the grid. 11th place for him. All drivers capable of getting points this evening goes down to the top 15, and we only have 15 here. Rafalo's really
the battle. Yeah, I was about to say the battle is really closing up at the front now.
So it hasn't taken particularly long as they come down into turn number 15. Munro leads, Rafalo leads Delaney, as we've had an accident between Green and Smith coming out of turn number 13. And they're going to
also
drop right to the back.
Mark up a place for Meredith. He's just gotten past Hill, Joshua Hill. It looks like Greg has dropped right to the back of the field.
Yep, so he's been involved in an accident with Smith, and then Tricklebanks just managed to hold on to P14. Smith right behind him. I don't imagine that'll last too long.
Oh, we've got some action going into turn 3.
So the front guys are battling. Once again, it's Delaney who gets past Rafalo. 2nd and 3rd place respectively now. And Monroe still leading. He is not pulling ahead very much at all. Only 6 tenths back to the other Nissan, the only other Nissan in this field.
There's no doubt he'll be trying to make his way back to the position he earned in qualifying. And he's got the eyes on as they all sweep around the back of the circuit now.
Into what would be a DRS zone in Formula 1. But is he going to make the overtake at the end of the straight? He's too far back. He goes for... brakes a lot later than Munro, but can't get anywhere near him to make a pass there. We'll see what happens at the end.
Really had the thing squirming under brakes.
Munro goes defensive.
Now,
yep.
Is he going to have a move into the final corner? Not quite. Munro's got the exit on him, but he's run onto the grass, which could compromise him for the first time.
Down the main straight.
Delaney's having a look.
Delaney pulls to the right. No, he doesn't want to get there. Might have to wait another corner. That's quite a tight apex there, the first corner. So going for a move in there can be very risky, particularly in these cars. As we look at Delaney once again having a look. He's managed to stay with him all through the corner, but has to give it up. No, he doesn't.
Ooh, he hangs on around the outside. That's brave.
Very brave indeed. And it was, until that little squirm on the exit of the corner that he was still going to hold it and perhaps take the advantage of the inside line through turn 5, but doesn't materialise. We might get Nick Gregg in a moment to see what happened with that first corner accident. First corner, not first corner, 13th corner on lap 2, I think. Because we're on lap 4 of 19. This has gone by fairly quickly. We're almost a quarter of the way into the race. It's a very short one, of course. Let's bring him in now. And just cut him off mid-sentence, probably. Yo, Nick. How are you?
Huh? I'm doing
Oh, there's
okay.
a bit of a battle going on at 10th, just to let you know.
So 10th.
I'm a bit disappointed in my actions just then.
Yeah, what was that between you and Riley?
Yeah.
We didn't catch it on the
Riley. Yeah,
stream.
so me and Riley never contacted. Into turn, whatever turn I'm coming to now. What's his name in front of me? He was in P4 at the time. Josh Hill, I reckon.
Yep.
He went wide a bit and I think caught me off guard. Try to take more of an inside line, and then I ended up spinning into the wall. And then everyone got past, and then Riley did the same thing, and we we were both in the wall together.
So you've just dropped it yourself, and
Yeah, and then Riley dropped it.
well, I'll tell you what, Hill might have done it on the exit of the last corner, and he's going to be
Ooh, there's
dropping
an
positions down the straight.
issue for Hill here.
Yep.
Oh, what's he doing in 10th?
So he's just dropped. I imagine
there's
he's
a bit
just
of
dropped out the last corner.
big contact at the first corner between Goonan and Monty.
Yeah, there is.
And Nick's got the bird's eye view of it all. We'll let you get back to it, Nick.
Ta,
Keep the
mate.
pace up, and you'll have a good shot at these guys in a lap or two.
Thanks, mate. Hopefully. Oh shit.
It's probably noisier over in the other chat, to be fair. So this is the battle between Hill, Monty, and Greg. Two of those drivers with brand new liveries on the car. One of them a debutant for this particular series, and is doing quite well for
Ooh,
himself.
that's an almighty dive.
Big dive, probably cut the corner a little bit more than he would have wanted, then gets served up. Makes the fence. Monty out at turn number 9. He was just
And that's
coming.
2 positions up for Greg. He's just like, thank you, I'll have a piece of this.
So back down to 14th then for him. And then
Oh, he's had a
4
bit of a
seconds.
slide coming out of the fast left-right corners.
Yep, and there's Nick Gregg down the inside, and he goes for it for P number 9. And he's got it. So he can start chasing down Nick Goonan now, who's 3.7 seconds ahead. It won't be an easy task, even though this is the reigning champion. As we go back to the front, because there's only 2/10 again between the leaders. The very fast 3 streaking away from the pack as they were in qualifying as well. 17 seconds is the gap between 3rd and 4th.
This has definitely been a kind of revolving slingshotting battle. It spreads out and then it closes right back up again in no time.
Right, so Lee's DNF'd, and I think we were all expecting that to happen at some point, like it has in pretty much every other race these days. So from 15th place, he drops out, despite only having to do a few more laps to make it to the very end of this race and still pick up a single point. Gap's growing out a little bit again. Nissan OP, then the two Nissans and they're both leading. No, it's just the drivers in them.
The field's starting to settle down at this point. I expect that we'll have some shake-up once the pit stops occur, and we'll see if maybe swapping to a fresher tyre can yield an undercut to some of these drivers.
Ooh, where is it? There's my leaderboard. We have got Monroe on softs, and then I can't see what Delaney's on because it won't let me go that far. And then Rafalo on super softs, and also on super softs are Combat, Wrath, and that's it. So, oh no, Hill as well. So most drivers deciding to start on the soft tyre, finish on the faster super soft. Probably don't want to lose too much time in that when you're just coming out of the pit lane, and the soft tyres, they take a long time to get up to temperature, of course. We have a system on this server at the moment where there's a number of random weather scenarios, and as of right now, if I just bring up my live timing, 39-degree track temperature, so it's a little bit higher than it would be normally, so the soft tyres should actually be okay. It'd be the super softs that were overheating a little bit.
Yeah, the super softs will start to hurt, particularly with all those fast corners where you lean on it for a long time. Drivers as well who have a lot of camber in their setup are going to feel a bit of pain with the super soft.
Forgot to put a stream link out. Oh.
There was an incident back in the pack, I'm pretty sure. Bob Combat has dropped a lot of positions just very quickly, and we've also got a bit of a battle going on between Joshua Hill and Riley Smith.
Yeah, watching it now, so we've got two blue cars up against one another, two blue Holdens, which I don't know why people in this series keep doing that, making blue Holdens and red Fords. And there's Nick Gregg.
I started that trend.
I guess it's just like real life. So Greg's off and he can't get going again. He's on the inside of the corner and he's almost in the way of Monty.
That was a bit of a questionable rejoin.
It certainly was.
He's going to be kicking himself with this race. I'm not entirely sure what happened there, whether that was another unforced error or if there was contact.
It looked like he was a fair way off the cars before that. So that's what I would have to assume.
It's bumpy and a bit like, you know.
Can you not see dirt coming in your rearview mirror?
Driver chat.
Bro.
I wasn't looking in my rearview mirror.
Big Nick is not very happy.
No, he's not happy. Big Nick's not happy with all of that.
No, Nick, we just got a bit scared because we were going to have a battle on track. So that's what happened and caused the entire thing.
Oh, of course. Yeah, that's what actually happened.
So he's down in 12th position. Nicholas Gregg now on for only a few points. I think 1, 2, 3, 4 points. Yes? Yeah, 4. I need to try and memorise my own damn point system. But anyway.
And Rafalo is into the pit, so he's the first of our stoppers in this race.
So he's first of our well, he's one of the front runners, of course, and he is into the pit lane on lap 9 of 19. Of course, he was on the super softs, wasn't he? Yes. So would be in a little bit earlier, as you would imagine.
Now, with his opponents in this race swapping to the faster tyre compound, that could yield him a benefit right at the end of the race, but he is going to be losing some time to them once they get onto fresh super softs for the first laps if they're on it. He's come out with Goonan directly behind him, and he's going to go defensive into turn 3. But Goonan is going to force the issue, and then he pulls back to the racing line. Probably a smart decision.
And a link to the stream to the Discord server, which I forgot to do earlier. But anyway, as we focus back on the race, we got Goonan right up behind Rafalo, who's just come out of the pit lane, of course.
Now those tyres are going to be cold for Rafalo, so he's going to be vulnerable for probably the first 3/4 of the lap here until those tyres come up to temperature. And then the advantage will almost swing the other way, and he'll, the fresh tyre will kick in and he'll have some pace in that car.
So if Monroe and Delaney are on the same tyre, as I believe is the case, this is going to be the real wild card in all of this. Different tyre to start off on. Hasn't quite got the advantage out of the super softs though.
Yeah, I have the feeling that the super soft tyre might not be as fast as we all think due to the high track temperature.
So Goonan gets
It
up
could
to the
be-
inside of Wrath at turn 13. Yeah, go on.
Yeah, so both of those cars have just gone past Wrath, and now Goonan and Wrath are both into the pit lane.
So giving a bit of clear air to the... Oh wait, it's already got past him. Never mind that. So 5th place for Rafalo then, and Goonan and Wrath will drop down the field as they pit. Their mandatory stop for a tyre compound change as well. I'm starting to think I
And
maybe
now-
should have put 2 races. 200k's.
Possibly.
Maybe a bit long. I don't know. It's probably
It
nice
looks
to
like
have a
the
short one.
gap between the leaders is closing right up again as Delaney is trying to apply pressure to Monroe.
This is the point where the tyre starts to go off. 200% tyre wear at the moment, which, as you can imagine, they wear away fairly quickly. I'm not sure exactly how long they last, but Monroe doesn't seem to be dealing with his rear tyres very well. He gets a big slide out of turn 13 and is now vulnerable into the hairpin.
Goes defensive.
The defence has worked very tricky through this bit, just to try and get the absolute maximum onto this straight. Jack Green's sitting in 4th position. He's the other driver who I've convinced to come into the commentary box every so often, so we might bring him in just a moment. We're watching a continuing battle for the lead. There's the lapped car getting out the way as they roll up through turn number 5 into turn number 6 at the far side of the lane.
Bit of opposite lock for Delaney coming out of that. And again, I reckon both of them are struggling with their tyres at this point.
You'd imagine they'd pit this lap or next. There's only...
Yeah, you can't leave it too much longer. Little wide for Monroe.
Quite a high tyre decked track as well, as there goes Delaney looking around the outside of the VB.
Ooh, that's
Nissan.
very close. He's all over the back of him. Monroe goes defensive.
Tell you what,
Ooh,
Delaney's hung
and
it
around the outside.
He's hung it around the outside.
And he's
got
gained
to
the lead of the race.
Wow. Okay. Very good job from him.
Unusual spot to do it, but it's worked.
Certainly, around the outside as well. Let's bring
And
in
they're
Jack.
staying out for another lap as well.
Yeah, really stretching it. Well, Ask Jack now is going to bring him in. Hey, we've brought you out of the live driver chat. How are you?
Actually, I've had a good first half of the race.
Out of interest,
Yeah.
what's the absolute longest you reckon you could stretch your tyres as it's all a big slide from Munro coming out the second corner?
My tyres are doing pretty alright. It's the fuel that's more the worry. The fuel's only going to carry me a couple more laps.
What tyres are you on?
Softs currently.
Softs, okay. Yeah, so are these two. So most of the field on soft now because it's that little crossover point.
How are the temperatures going in those tyres?
Temperatures for softs are fine, really. It's the super softs that you'll overheat the left-hand side of the car.
So we're just asking these questions just because we're trying to figure out when the leaders, or how long these leaders can last on these particular tyres. They're on lap 12 of 19. Now as they roll up towards the fast left-right chicane, it's been a fairly... it's certainly been more uneventful than Monaco, which I think is a good thing, because that was just chaotic.
Yeah. My first couple laps were actually quite enjoyable. It's settled down now.
Hope we're not distracting you. You've just dropped a place.
I don't know who the hell is. I don't know who that is. They were going way quicker, so I'm like, bugger it.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, no, he's one of the top 3 runners.
Ah, right, okay. Well,
So
that doesn't even matter then.
yeah, he's already pitted as well, and he is basically just fighting to stay in this battle once these two leaders eventually pit. Riley Gordon-Duke asking get Delaney on board and see what he has to say about pushing first. We are only doing this to drivers who have actually agreed to do this. We haven't asked him, and I'm sure that's understandable. Oh, that's a difficult location for Munro to get
That's
around.
looking interesting up there.
Munro to get around.
And now Rafalo's going down the inside of Jack Meredith. And he gets that done cleanly.
So he's back up to third, 46 seconds.
Oh, and Meredith's had a dive at the next corner.
Oh no.
And there's
oh,
contact.
Well,
Not
that'll be in
fast.
the steward's room, I'm sure.
That's not going
And
well.
that's really going to damage Rafalo's race. He
What?
was
The
in
podium?
contention with the boys at the front.
Yeah, he was. That is not looking good for him.
So that's really going to hurt him. He's obviously been on these fresh tyres for quite a while, and they'll slowly start to wear out. They're soft tyres, though, I believe. So, yeah. Probably think about what I'm saying before I say it.
Having battled with Meredith in the past, he's definitely a battler. He likes to go for dives. Usually gets it done pretty cleanly, but you know, this is a track that forces a lot of errors, and he's probably been on these tyres for a while now as well.
Well, Jack Green back up to a podium place, and we will surely see those who haven't pitted yet pit very soon indeed. We're going to send you back to the driver chat.
Within a lap or two, you'll see most people pitting.
Yep. We'll send you back to the driver chat. Thanks very much.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Guys.
That's a good little feature sometimes.
Yeah, it is.
I quite like that. Might
It's
do
good
that.
because we get some information as well. And Munro is going in, but Delaney has opted to stay out. Oh, and Munro has hit the pit wall and has rotated himself in pit lane.
So he's understeered wide and then gone straight into that little pit wall. That it can be quite easy to hit, I imagine, as he finds his pit box and pits now. That's going to cost him a load of time, and I think that might have just handed Delaney the race.
Yeah, well, we can say there's been a lot of errors so far, so we'll see how this rest of this one goes. Goonan has closed right up to the back of Hill as well. Oh, and now he's made a mistake and he's dropping right back off. The Mom's Tendy's car is drifting really wide at the corners.
Rumstead, his Ford Falcon coming up towards the fast left-right. That's just stunning in a Formula 1 car, and it's It's pretty damn good in one of these cars as well. I think that was a little cut track warning that I just heard for the number 70 something, 76 I think. I need to learn the numbers.
Yeah, 76. It feels like forever in one of these cars going through that chicane. It's a real test of patience. You just want to get back on the gas.
But no one else. So I hope everyone's realised, even because I've said it about 10 times, that you have to pit at some point during this race and pit for a change of tyre compound. Here comes Spivey. I'm sure he'll stuff it up. As
You definitely struggle to make it all the way to the end on fuel anyway. I don't think it's possible, judging
surely
from...
not.
I think last season we had 200% as well, and we were running 100-kilometre races and then...
Yeah, so Delaney through the pit lane now, and he slows for the line. No dramas like what happened to Monroe, who is, I will tell you now, he is coming.
He's at the third last corner of the course right now.
Third last corner.
Delaney's already moving towards the exit, so...
There he goes. So that'll be the lead for Delaney, and that will almost be the race win, you'd think.
Monroe around the final corner.
We'll see what the gap is.
It actually might be a bit closer than we thought.
Delaney's already out. He's coming through turn number 2. We...
Oh yeah, that's a massive gap.
Yep, 10 seconds. So a lot of time to gain, and particularly when we see they're so well matched, these two, as Rafalo's really suffered from that little accident he had earlier, and he's just now gotten past Meredith.
Meredith's coming to the pits.
As I can't switch to him. So that's why he's gotten past. So Rafalo back into 30s, now 23 seconds off, and yeah.
So Delaney should be quite comfortable with this one. All he has to do is just not make errors, and he can drive the car slowly and just nurse it home and prevent those tires from overheating, which should help him make less errors.
A lot of very late stops, and I think that accounts to the higher track temperature that we're seeing. The soft runners not wanting to go onto the super softs for very long at all, so they're leaving it as late as they can. 15 out of 19 laps completed.
Yeah, we're seeing a few stops now. Greg's just come out of the pit lane, and I saw another car in there, but I didn't quite catch it.
Up a little bit up and down the field, as Hill is coming up on Jack Green.
We've got a car stopped around the back of the circuit. That's Aaron Reck.
He's just staying there at turn number 9. He's going for a closer look. Let's see if there's...
Meanwhile, Chris Monroe sets the fastest lap of the race.
Is there anything in particular wrong with that car, I wonder? Doesn't sound like there's an engine attached to that. So... yeah, definitely some kind of issue with the engine there for Aaron Recchi. And he's going to be out of this race. He was so close to the finish as well. Just 3 to go here in Melbourne.
Yeah, that's a real shame.
Lost focus and downshifted too hard, he says. There you are. So he's just stopped there, turn number 9. Is he still there? Yeah, he is. It didn't sound like that car was operating nearly as well.
Do you reckon we could ask him right now to pull him in for a live driver chat if we asked him?
Yeah, we can do that. Hold on. I'll tell him you can... I just let him know he can teleport to pits and finish up the race. So, is he actually in it? No, he's not in it.
Yeah, yeah.
Cool.
He's gone back to pits now, so
There you go.
he'll be getting back out once that engine is repaired.
Let's go to the live driver chat once more. As Delaney puts in the fastest lap, 53.495.
Riley will be fine.
That is blistering.
Me and Nick should be fine. Jack, you might have a bit of trouble.
Yeah,
I wonder
I'm
if he's
scared.
reacting to the pace that Munro was putting in, despite having a comfortable cushion anyway, or if he just wants to
Blue
take
flag,
fastest
oh,
lap for bragging, right?
So it is Green saying there he's a little bit worried about the threat behind.
Josh keeps trying to send it back from like 100 meters away, and I just keep just closing the ball.
We're listening now to Riley Smith as Josh Hill.
He's not close enough to get up into my inside.
Yeah, he's moving on the brakes.
Is that Josh Hill pitting?
I was turning in for the apex.
With the brakes on?
Yeah, trial the nicking.
Yeah.
Yes, he knew Spivey. No, Spivey doesn't do that. So that's why I penalised him.
Oh, yeah, I do that, Riley. What you on about?
Ooh, 155 on the race pace.
There we are. Controls
Just,
are locked
yep.
for Aaron, by the way, so he...
Yeah, I don't want to go that fast because I know the tiles are just commit die.
So that's our live drive chat once again. That's another good little insight that we've got now into the drivers, and I plan on bringing a makeshift replay system back for the first time since about, I think, Darwin in season 1, so a long time. Three laps to go in Melbourne. It's Delaney who leads from Munro, Ruffalo in 3rd, Meredith in 4th, Green in 5th, Gooden 6th, Smith in 7th, Hill in 8th, Rath in 9th, and then Greg, Combat, Monty, Spivey, and Greg. He's still in the pit lane. His controls are locked. If he can get out before the end of this race with 2 to go, well, we'll wait and find out.
We've got Greg all over the back of Wrath right now.
That's another debutant who's teamed up with the man in 3rd place, Ruffalo.
Oh, and he's run wide.
So Rath runs wide there and concedes the position to Nick Gregg. Nick Gregg now up into 9th place. Hasn't been a good race for him at all, but he's managing to salvage something from it. It's another 6 seconds to Hill, who was on the back of Smith not long ago, but now has dropped off himself. Kind of got to wonder if there are any... Oh, that's not good. Oh, no, not.
Leader started final lap.
So 1 to go for Delaney with a 153.442. The fastest lap of the race. No fastest lap point for this particular series like there is in Formula 1.
He's got a comfortable lead now though, so if I were him, I'd just be cruising to the end, but I'm sure that that's not his style.
He's banging out the fastest laps at the very end. As just check that I have... Okay, so Riley Smith given a 5-second time penalty for cutting. As I'm just scrolling through the chat here and checking what we've got. So Riley Smith has already got 5 seconds added, and that'll drop him behind Hill.
Actually, no, the
Well,
gap's just gone over 5
actually,
seconds.
yeah,
So
it has.
if he keeps the pace up, then he could maintain position in 7th. But he's got to finish 5 seconds ahead of Joshua.
He will by the skin of his teeth. There's a 5-second time penalty, Max Spivey for cutting, and that won't affect him because he's already last on track. Nick Goonan's got a 5-second penalty. They're all picking it up today, and Goonan will drop a spot to Smith, who's got a 5-second penalty, so he won't actually drop it. It's not quite the same sort of chaos we had in Formula 1 here, but Delaney's going to come through, slides around the last corner. He's going to win here in Melbourne, the second race of Velocity Supercars.
Leader finished the race.
There we are. So Monroe's going to come across the line in second. Had that mistake going into the pit lane, which arguably cost him the race, and now he's going to hold on to his championship lead. But it's Nissan 1 and 2. And Rafalo's going to come round in third position. What would have happened to him wasn't it for the accident with Jack Meredith, which may be looked at in the steward's room? We'll have a look as Monty and Spivey come across 12th and 13th. Cross the line. We'll take you to the live driver chat in a moment. We're going to have a little bit of a discussion about this one. I'm sure there'll be some things to be said in there. As Delaney starts off with a bang, and that will be propelling him up the order to, don't quote me on this, but about maybe 7th or 8th position. Obviously the double points last race, it's not a, he's already on the back foot because he missed the double points race, but no matter, he can still win this. There's still a lot of points, especially at the back end of the season with the Enduros, and another 250 as they're all piling into each other at turn 1.
Got a new parking lot down there.
Oh, it's mental. Alright, so I'm going to head over to the live driver chat. If you want to join me, then you're welcome.
Sure thing.
Finish.
Oh,
Yo.
oh yeah.
Yes.
Hello.
Hello.
Bro.
Anything to discuss about that race? It was quite a short one, wasn't it? Only 40 minutes.
Yeah.
100 k's.
Fun.
Oh.
Fun little sprint.
I think it went
Looks
pretty
good.
well. Not for me, but in general.
Yeah, I made a little mistake.
What actually happened? Did you
I just
destroy your
banged
engine?
Yeah, I banged through the gears a little bit too hard.
Oof. A little bit, yeah.
I mean, it was already damaged from like doing it occasionally. Oh well.
Good race, fellas.
Yeah, well done.
Yeah, that was a fun one. I enjoyed that.
Yeah, that was good.
Sharf, how'd the stream go?
Yeah, good. It's still going. Just keep that in mind.
Oh yeah, true. Whoops,
It is.
my bad.
Yeah. And I'm
Oh, no minutes.
quite happy with that. How that went,
You
especially
did-
after.
Did you see me bin it on the way into the pits?
Yeah, I did. Oh dear.
Far out.
I killed my engine, and then I'm like, I have to go look at the stream and see if you're talking about me. And sure enough,
Nice race, Jones.
Yeah, good on you.
Yeah, thanks.
Right. So our next race is in 2 weeks' time. It'll be a bit longer. It'll be 120 kilometres as opposed to this 100k race, unique to this round. It'll be in Perth. There we are. Wanneroo Raceway.
No.
Yeah.
No. Oh, that's not my boat. Every time I go there, I screw up. Oh god.
I did.
Just
But
drive
are
down
we
the
racing
hill.
at Barbagallo, are we?
Yep.
In Perth?
Yep.
Yep.
Hey,
I love
Every time.
sounds good to me, boys.
It's
Uh,
on.
This will be
Shocker.
this will be a fantastic championship, I'm sure, with quite a few guys being proper quick and particularly when we get to that back end of the season and a lot of points are on offer. 75, 75, 50, round 10, 11 and 12. Those are the points for the win. Sandown 500, Bathurst
Sweet.
1000 and Newcastle 250.
Was Adelaide worth 50 as well?
Yep, it was.
Sweet.
So you've already got a bit of a head start.
That's too much of Delaney.
Oh, mate, we'll try. We'll see what we can do at Bunnings,
10% discount, mate.
Good race, Delaney. Good race, Chris. That battle at the start was awesome.
Is that you, Chris?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I think you made
Saw that on the timing.
made the super soft call, didn't you? At the start.
Yeah, I thought
Yeah.
I didn't want to be the one on soft and then everyone else on super soft and then just get skunked on lap one. So I
Yeah.
thought I'd try the super softs at the start. And,
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, that was cool, but man, you guys are fast on the soft.
That was
Once
certainly
they come up to temperature, they're sweet.
that was certainly quite
Mine
a
the other way around.
that was a very interesting addition. The soft. and
I'll
super soft
upload the replay for that one.
Yeah, I reckon it adds another dimension for strategy
Yeah.
and stuff.
I mean, on my server we do it for all of our races. It's pretty interesting.
Yeah, it's good. That's what we do as well.
Everyone hates it.
But the change of compound as well.
Yeah.
No, but that's
Yeah,
good.
I found the change of compound pretty fun actually in those races.
Yeah,
that's
that's,
it, yeah.
that's a great.
You'll
Yeah.
notice that some tracks, super softs won't actually work. So, like, for, like, Phillip Island, for example,
Yeah.
like, you'll be lucky to get a hot lap in on super softs, you know?
Yeah, I've set up the tyre regulations to mirror real life with super soft and soft only rounds. So super softs everywhere, but Phillip Island, the Bend, and Bathurst and Adelaide,
Oh, yeah.
and of course here when we had the change in compound. So yeah, super soft only for most of the races and one compulsory pit stop at all the sprint races. And then we've got the enduros coming up. I'm still working out a couple of little things for the driver pairing situation and distribution of points and all of that, because we're planning on having the possibility of people from outside the championship pairing with championship drivers, and then two championship drivers also pairing together, and then wildcards as well, and all of that. So we're still trying to work a couple of things out with that.
Just give the trophy to Delaney at Bathurst, mate.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes.
King of the mountain.
Right, got it set up, ready to go for that one.
You do, yeah.
Don't you worry.
So do I.
Another little shout out to make is that we're planning on partnering with a bunch of other leagues for, or we're wanting to partner with a bunch of other leagues for the Bathurst 1000 and make it a bit more of a community style event, as well as being part of our own championship. I guess it's promotion of our own championship as well, but so if anyone else runs another V8 Supercar League or knows of one, let me know, apart from the obvious of course, I know about those, and perhaps even if there are some V8 Supercar Leagues around the world, then some
Can your
worldwide
server handle
participants.
that?
Yeah,
Should
but
do
like,
a crossover.
yeah, possibly just do an overseas race as well. More appropriate for a European or North American time zone as well. But that's all.
I'd get everyone from my server to do it, but everyone that's like really active is already in this.
Yeah.
So yeah, happy to talk about that later. We are still streaming. I'm going to end the stream now. So,
We can say the C word again.
yeah, anything else to say?
Cookies.
Just thanks for hosting the race. That was really fun.
That's alright, glad you enjoyed it. Anything in that you want to report, go to Stu with Inquiries. I'll be uploading a replay very shortly. As for the YouTube...
I've already got a replay uploading if you want.
Good on ya. As for the YouTube side of things, we will be... I'm planning on making a supercut version of this, cut it down to about 5 minutes or so. And yeah, that's pretty much all to say. Thanks very much, and goodbye.